I'm Carrie McCannell-Scruggs, Communications Coordinator here at Memorial United Methodist Church. Each year at the beginning of Advent, the United Methodist Women at Memorial hold a special event called No Room at the Inn. The United Methodist Women Circles at Memorial have gotten together to bring this collection to you virtually. So sit back and enjoy a digital tour of some nativities, background information on No Room at the Inn, information on the Coalition for the Homeless, and a special look at some of our favorite nativities. Now, Catherine Eleazar of the June Jancis Circle has been an integral part of No Room at the Inn since the beginning. Let's hear her words about how this event started.
About 15 years ago, we had a United Methodist Women meeting, and it was before Christmas time, and we were trying to figure out what our Christmas activities might be. And Lynette Odom found this article in a magazine where a lady called Jan Johnson had started a collection of nativity displays. And she had gotten so many of them, and she had people coming to her house, and she was it became kind of a real national type thing. So we decided we would do this in our church. So they wanted someone to start out and coordinate it and start the No Room at the Inn. And I, being a collector of many of these things, I took this on, not really knowing what was going to be involved in it, but it also was quite a challenge and something that I really wanted to do. So we started out calling it No Room at the Inn at the church, because of there being no room at the inn for Jesus' birth. And it has grown and grown and grown to be quite an annual thing, and so many people have enjoyed it, and we have collected so many from other lands and all. And I had to stop with it a couple of years ago. And my lovely friend, Mary Dagren, has taken over this and has done a wonderful job too. But I wanted to share with you the ones that I have. These were the ones that I got in Israel on my trip there. This is the original thing, the original nativity, because it was in a cave back then. The places were dug into a cave, and this is more like the original creche. This one is one that is hand carved, and also gives you more the idea of a shed, which we think that of it being. This one up here was one that I got many years ago, which kind of depicts more of the town part above the opening where the baby Jesus was born. This particular creche is metal, and it gives the idea of the barn type creche. This one is all of metal wires, in those that I got in Myrtle Beach. This one up here is one of my favorites. It was the town part and the back part, but it doesn't give the covering, but it's in wood. And just a very beautiful space there. This one up here, Sue McCannell gave me for my 90th birthday, and I treasure that one very much too.
Did you know that the tradition of displaying nativity scenes goes back to the year 1223? St. Francis of Assisi is credited with creating the first nativity scene in Greccio, Italy. He had a desire to change the idea of Christmas from a gift-giving, materialistic holiday back into the celebration of the birth of Christ. The first nativity was a live nativity staged in a cave near Greccio with actors and live animals. Reenactment of the nativity continued to become popular and spread throughout the Christian world. After a few hundred years, every church in Italy was expected to have a nativity scene at Christmas. Eventually, statues would replace the humans and live animals. As real people were exchanged with statues, the scenes grew more elaborate, with richly robed figurines placed in intricate landscape settings. By the end of the 19th century, the popularity of nativity scenes grew beyond the Catholic Church. Many new versions of the Holy Family were created in various sizes and materials, such as terracotta, paper, wood, wax, and ivory. They were sold to the public, often with a backdrop setting of a stable, and the tradition continued to grow and spread all over the world.
Hello. I have had the privilege of helping with No Room at the Inn for at least the last 3 years when Catherine Eliezer asked me to help when she was unable to do it one year, and she had been doing it for at least 12 years. Today, I wanted to share with you some of the nativity displays that I have been able to collect over the years. The ones I'm going to show you today actually come from different countries, and this little one right here is from Italy. This one I am not exactly sure where it's from, but it's my largest one, and this was given to me by the lady from Jacksonville who really enjoyed our No Room at the Inn event. These two right here I gathered from Guatemala last year, 2019, when we went back to Guatemala to help dedicate a home to a family there in Guatemala. This is a representation of the Three Kings, which was given to Miguel and I when I first met a large grouping of both his mother and his father's family. And this was given to us as a gift. This Miguel and I actually got from Spain. I really like the way that they depict Joseph and Mary. They look just like a regular couple. You can tell that they're in perhaps a manger scene, her leaning against a hay. But I just loved how detailed and beautiful this picture is and how real baby Jesus looks. It's just amazing to me. And this is one that's very special to me. This nativity display right here comes from Japan. My mother and father brought this in 1951. And I think it's really special. It's been all over the world as we traveled. It's moved probably in about 20 years. It moved probably at least once or twice every 3 years. This creche is something that we found in the church memorial when we were moving, and it didn't belong to anything else. No one claimed it, and so I said, well, it just fits my nativity scene perfectly, and you can see it does.
Some people in Nassau County say that Christmas doesn't officially begin until the nativity scene's on the front lawn at Memorial, and I tend to agree. For over 70 years, the nativity scene has been an important tradition of downtown Fernandina's Christmas celebration. But do you know the history of Memorial's nativity scene? In the 1950s, church member Mary Oliver spotted the close to life-size figures portraying the traditional nativity scene in front of a funeral home in Tucker, Georgia, and she was inspired by its message. When she arrived home, she encouraged her Sunday school class, the Edna S. Ward class, to raise the money to purchase the 14-piece nativity scene. They went to work and through bake sales and other fundraising efforts raised the necessary money. Originally, the camels, which measure 7.5 feet tall, were covered with rayon flock material to look like real hair, and the sheep were adorned with rayon flock to look like wool. Throughout the years, it has taken enormous dedication to maintain these large figurines, especially as they are stored away for 11 months out of the year. In the 1970s, the figures were given a fiberglass and resin coating. At one time, the church considered replacing the nativity figurines and contacted the original artist. They found that their original $1,300 purchase would now cost $40,000 to replace. So the church members dedicated themselves to maintaining the original nativity scene, putting forth repairs and sometimes even repainting the sets as needed. Tommy Oliver, whose mother Mary was the person who envisioned the nativity scene at Memorial, maintains the set and checks on it a few times a week while it's on display. We are so thankful for the Oliver family for starting and maintaining this wonderful tradition at Memorial.
I purchased this set in Haiti on a mission trip they took about 3 or 4 years ago. And it's unique because it's made from a steel drum. And the way they make it is they turn the drum up and they cut it in half, or cut it longitudinally. And then they put a man inside and he pushes with his feet and his hands to open it up. Then they turn the drum on it, turn it over, and the men jump on it to flatten it out. And then they take a hammer to flatten it out even more. Then they cut the pieces and paint them. And the thing that attracted me so much to this was the giraffe, because I had never seen a giraffe in a nativity before. And I love giraffes, and they're certainly not native to Haiti.
I've been needlepointing for about 40 years. It's something that I love. I stopped for a while and I've started back again. This is my newest needlepoint. It's by a designer, Camilla Moss, out of Alabama. And I think it's just kind of beautiful and just kind of modern looking. The other needlepoint there, the tall triangular one, we did as a class in the local needlepoint store. So that was kind of fun. Now this is my crazy whimsical one. I love the little angels on that. I think they're perfect, and the little sheep. All of that is just perfect. The next one that you have up here was the first needlepoint that I did, and I still enjoy it. The one next to it also, I just think that Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus are so pretty. They're just very, very special. In the back are the tall 3 tears. And I started that, and I don't know why I got tired of it. So my friends, sweet, sweet friends, finished it for me and put it in the frame. And so that's kind of I cherish that. And this little thing is just a kind of a miniature one. Oh, and that one there is just kind of nice. It makes you think of Bethlehem. So I love that little one to sit side. Then we have a little miniature here. They're kind of whimsical also, so they're kind of fun.
The Coalition for the Homeless in Nassau County are the recipients of any love offerings that come in through No Room at the Inn each year. Our associate pastor, Drew Weisman, recently sat down with Carlene, the president of the Coalition for the Homeless for Nassau County, to learn more about this wonderful organization and their relationship with Memorial.
So Carlene is the president of the Coalition for the Homeless of Nassau County. And so Carlene, tell us a little bit about what the coalition does.
The coalition is a organization that is what I like to think of as kind of a company that starts seeds and helps them grow. And part of that has been the soup kitchen, which we spun off to the Council on Aging once it got, really large. Gracie's Kitchen and the Day Drop Center. And this is two organizations that are doing totally two different things. One is completely about feeding, and the other one's about feeding and allowing you to take showers and washing and getting services such as your Florida ID and your birth certificate, Social Security card, and things like that. So the coalition has a lot of little hands out there doing a lot of different things. And speaking of hands, I'd like to thank the United Methodist Women Circle for everything they do, because they're really a big part of what we do.
So tell us a little bit about ways that our church can be involved in the work that the coalition's doing.
Well, we have people that bring foods on a few days of the week. We need to really find more people that can bring in food to us that would help us serve the homeless, such as if you make really good homemade cookies, if you could drop off enough cookies, put them in a plastic bag or something and drop off like maybe about 30 cookies, or if they're small, maybe 2 to a bag or 3 to a bag. You could also put together a bag yourself. I have one lady that puts together a bag, and she puts a juice in there, a fruit and some crackers and maybe some chicken salad or tuna fish, those little cans, type thing, or Vienna sausage. She puts that all together, and all I do then is put in a sandwich and a breakfast sandwich. So that helps us tremendously, because the bags come in already made up and they're done very nicely. We need those kind of bags done to help out on Mondays and Wednesdays and Saturdays. So there's 3 days that probably don't have anybody coming in, passing, giving out food. They can always stop in and learn what we're doing and help out for the, for the morning, the 9 to 11 shift, to kind of give them an idea. Also, just financially, if they want to tithe so much a month or a week to the church, not the church, but the Homeless Coalition. See, I said it too. And, they can do that also, which will help me when I go to buy food to have enough money to which to do that. Also, we're wanting to open up a day drop center in Yulee. So we're looking for a location that would have like a shower and a bathroom and maybe even a washer and dryer where we can do wash for them, because that's something that we do. We let them throw in a load of wash. We can only do about 2 loads of wash a day. So financially, the bags, helping with the bags of food, all that is things we need help finding a building in Yulee. Once we do that, we're going to need volunteers to fill. Maybe we only start with 2 days out there. We're going to need volunteers for that. We're going to need new volunteers. We need to have volunteers that maybe will go ahead and sign up, so I know how many we've got to work with. In the beginning, it may be slow, and we may have to get well known that we're there. But I think once we get known, I think it will be just as busy as we are now here in town.
That's powerful. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me, and we look forward to working together.
I know, I'm looking forward to it also. And please tell everyone, thank you very much for everything they've done.
We hope you've enjoyed this virtual look at No Room at the Inn. Now, the purpose of this display has always been to use the Nativities as a way to bring attention to the homeless in our community, for which there may be no room in the inn. If you would like to give a love offering to the Coalition for the Homeless in Nassau County, you can send donations to No Room at the Inn, in care of Memorial United Methodist Church, 601 Center Street, Fernandina Beach, Florida, 32034. And please put No Room at the Inn in the memo portion of your check. Now you can also give online this year through PayPal. Just visit PayPal.me/WB Circle. And you can give a donation there through PayPal that will go directly to the Coalition for the Homeless through No Room at the Inn. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for your support of the homeless in Nassau County. Merry Christmas.